Hey, what is up guys? Kalem or Kalemsfishtanks, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update as to what's been going on, because I haven't posted a video in quite some time and there's some reasons to that. I've been very busy. So on the personal side, I've recently started volunteering at a lab at my university, and I'm doing about 30 hours a week there. This is to prepare for my honors project, which I will be starting next year. And then on top of that, I'm working about 20 hours a week at my job, so I haven't really had too much time for the tanks or for shooting YouTube videos. But today I've got time to do an update, some extra time. You can see my cat in the background being naughty. But yeah, that's basically what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you an update on what's been going on with these two tanks behind me. They've kind of struggled a bit with my busy schedule, but yeah, and we're also going to look at the Immersed setup I set up in the last video as well. So the main problem I'm dealing with in these two tanks is hair algae. It feels like I've been fighting this stuff forever. I can't seem to get rid of it. I don't know if it's because I don't know how, or if I just don't have enough time to do it. Probably a bit of both, but both of these tanks have had a ton of hair algae. There's a lot of light on these tanks, which I think contributes to it, but light is not the causing agent of hair algae. It just accelerates its growth. I find with the hair algae I'm experiencing in these tanks, the better the plants are growing, the better the hair algae grows, and if the plants are growing worse, if I lower the lights, for example, and they have to adjust, the hair algae starts growing even better. So I'm having a lot of difficulty with that, and I just don't have the time to figure it out. So what I've been thinking about doing is this tank behind me, the 45P. I've really been thinking about tearing it down and switching to something a little less heavy maintenance. Both of these tanks run the Vivid Mini, which is an extremely strong light for these small tanks. So I wanted to switch to something low tech. Well, not necessarily low tech. I have CO2, I may as well use it, but a lot slower growing plants, something that'll require less maintenance and will be a little bit easier for me to take care of. But let me know what you guys think. Would you guys rather me go full low tech or just kind of a low maintenance scape? You know, this tank was kind of like a Dutch scape when I set it up, and taking care of two Dutch scapes like the one downstairs takes a lot of work, and I just haven't had the time to put into this tank the same I do to put into my 24. The purple and pink aquascape behind me is still struggling with hair algae. I'm hoping as the plants start to get bigger, there'll be less issues with it. The Bucephalandra are looking super good. The old leaves are kind of covered in algae, but the new leaves are coming in absolutely beautiful. So I think with a bit of patience, that tank may sort itself out if I keep manually removing as much algae as possible. But that'll take a while, and the tank does still kind of look pretty garbage. But I'd like to eventually make it a more purple and pink aquascape like I initially set out to do, with a bit of red in there as well, and to remove those green Hygrophila polyspermas. But I want to get the hair algae sorted out first before I start adding new plants, because it'll likely be some more rare plants as well, and I don't want to kill them. And the last thing I want to talk about today is the Immersed bin, which is actually doing absolutely amazing. If you remember the video, I had initially wanted to move it outside and put it into sunlight, but the weather here has been really unpredictable. Recently we had a big storm and a tree fell on our back deck, so I'm happy I didn't put it out there. It's also one day 22 degrees, the next day 34 degrees Celsius. So I didn't want to move that out there and expose it to the, chaos we have outside in terms of our Canadian weather. So I decided to keep it inside and just used a standard desk lamp with a grow bulb in it, and it's doing really good. The Monte Carlo has almost completely covered the pots, and I've decided to add some new species of plants in here as well. They were some of the rare species from this 45P behind me, things like Ludwigia senegalensis, Rotala macrandra mini butterfly, as well as Nasia pediculata golden. These are hard names. I'm usually pretty good with the plant names, but those three I kind of struggle with a little bit because you don't hear people talk about them too often, but they're very stunning plants. The Nasia pediculata golden is one I want to use for this scape behind me, but I may end up changing the light eventually. And another plant I have in here that I want to use for this when I redo it is Riccardia chamaedrifolia. What I decided to do is I decided to try something new in the Immersed setup. I used a bigger piece of lava rock, and it's about halfway submerged into the water, and I added some Riccardia to it. It's been about a week, and it seems to be doing pretty well, which I was pretty surprised by. But I'm excited to see how that continues to do, and if it'll grow well or not. I also planted some in the dirt, and I'm kind of doing a mini experiment to see which one of the two will do better. But anyways guys, this was just a little mini update, not too much to talk about. Eventually I will shoot the rescaping of this tank. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see with it, whether it's full low tech, or more so just lower maintenance plants with CO2, for example. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for keeping up with my content, even though I'm not the most consistent on here. I hope to be eventually, but anyways guys, thank you so much. This was Kalemsfishtanks. Peace.